Alright troops and troopettes, welcome to another episode of Having a Wee Horror Look At. I do apologise, this will turn into more of a review because since playing the little bit that I had more time with the game. I've played it a little bit more. I'm about 4 or 5 levels deep now, so there'll be a wee bit more analysis, if you want to call it that, or basically be a bit more of me slabbering on like a prick. That's probably a little bit closer to the truth, isn't it? So Darker Skies is a digital only download game. It cost me $14.99 and it is based after what I think is the Tom Cruise version of War of the Worlds, because it uses very, very similar looking tripods and they're all decked and decked and what have you, and aye, they're all smashed to pieces. They're fucked. The story is, I think your name's Jack, we'll just call him Jack the Jobby, right? And he's trying to fix a heat ray to break into some other place. I don't really know what's behind the door. I don't think he knows what's behind the door either, which is great because, well, a wee bit of intrigue never goes wrong, does it? But what you'll be fighting against, and all I've seen so far, are like red weed infected humans, and they go fucking mental. They're like zombies, and I'm like, what's going on here? And you'll have like a few weapons to take these enemies out with. Now be aware, when you shoot at them, they'll run at you like fucking Scooby Gonzalez on coke. I don't know who Scooby Gonzalez is, but I think I meant to say Speedy Gonzalez, and I think that's what I meant to say. And they can batter fuck at you in 2 seconds and kill you. It's really, actually very annoying. And I've not found any other guns than a handgun, a shitey wee handgun. You get plenty of ammo for it, right enough, not enough to kill absolutely everything. So you still need stealth, and boy, the stealth's a bit ropey. When you play this game, you're going to see a lot of similarities to one game in particular, The Last of Us. You can use the L1 or R1 button to focus and see things in the distance, just like Last of Us. The item creation screen is just like Last of Us. The mood, the feel of the game is just like Last of Us. Although I do quite like the atmosphere in the game. So I've been to an apartment building, I have been to what looked like a small amusement park, and now I am in a football stadium. And I actually like the look of the levels. The level design's pretty good. It's quite atmospheric. You'll see bits of red weed. I don't know why they're still red, because in the film and in the story, that all dies. So I'm not quite sure where this red weed is coming from, and you'll pick up red weed extract. Like that's how you upgrade your character. Weird. And sometimes you'll see the enemies being dropped in by lightning, like in the film, but only it's the zombie human things. I'm like, where the fuck are they coming from? Look, I know you're trying to just fit things in for the film, but going to make it make sense to me, please. And then you'll have to skirt round about them. It's not all that fun, and it can be really dull at times. Look, I don't want to be too unkind to the game, but it just feels half-baked, okay? It feels like it was a good idea and they didn't really know how to flesh it out. Like, is this, I don't know, is this common with stealth games? They just seem so fucking boring to me. The Last of Us was a lot of stealth in that, but I never found that I was tired of it. But in this, I just feel like I'm crouching constantly and I'm going at a snail's pace. There's not really that many enemies. I could kill them, but they're a bit of a pain in the arse to take down, and I'm not really having all that much fun. I'm having fun finishing the levels and getting my wee shitey trophies, but then the controls are stiff. They're stiff as fuck, and I'm like, the running animation's hilarious. I will say that much to it. The running animation is fucking brilliant. I'd run everywhere if I didn't run out of stamina. Or, yeah, well, not so much run out of stamina, but it creates a lot of noise and you get all these pricks coming after you. It did, at one point, actually really fucking scare me though. It was a jump scare, so it's not like atmospheric. Well, the game is quite atmospheric, but it's also incredibly dull. It's Jobby sucks. Like I say, I don't want to be too unkind, so I'm trying to be more diplomatic with how I say it. There's this boring shite in a dark hall constantly, because it kind of is. But I've found myself going, this is quite atmospheric and it's quite good. It doesn't last though, unfortunately. The game is also set in England, in and around London, I think, which is good because most of these adaptations of War of the Worlds set around America. Now there is Jeff Wayne's musical version of War of the Worlds, which is set in the UK, set in its actual time that H.G. Wells wrote it, which is a fantastic CD, brilliant music. Richard Burton does a fantastic job as a journalist, and it's just, I can't recommend it enough, right? So that's a good adaptation. The BBC did one recently, and it was pish. It just wasn't very good at all. I didn't like it. And everything else has been America. Fuck no. Fuck off. Nah, I'm not kidding. But I'd like to see a proper, an actual good, not woke version of War of the Worlds be produced and shoved into the stratosphere for us all to enjoy. I think there was like CG things with the Jeff Wayne one recently. I know they performed that live, but they have had to replace some of the parts because folk are either too old or have passed away. Liam Neeson did the journalist in a remix of Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds, and it was shite. I fucking hated it, so I don't recommend that at all. I thought you could replace Richard Burton. Sorry, Liam. No, mate. No, mate. No, mate. Anyway, if you are going to enter into a binding contract with this game, be sure it's ropey as fuck. It is stiff and unagile, very rough around the edges, probably made them cheap with probably a team of about 3 or 4 people. That's just kind of how it feels. I tend to think it was just rushed out the door. I don't think so. I just think it's an experience from the studio. I don't even know who the fuck made this. So I did a wee bit digging there, and apparently this is a sequel to something called Grey Skies. Okay, this is a follow-up to a game that's not actually available over here, I don't think. Well, it probably will be for the PC mob, but for the console peasants like myself, no, forget it. Apparently the first one was worse than this, so that's a turn up for the books. The game was made by Steel Arts Software, still really none the wiser, so that's good, isn't it? That's pure amazeballs, right? I'm going to end this because I'm finished talking a lot of shite, and I want to get some toast, so I'll see you all later. Bye!